Hi, welcome to the Handmade Podcast, where we're talking about the US Empire's plan to take over Gaza, its whole foreign policy regarding Gaza and the Middle East. And it's just insane. Let's just get that on the table. It's absolutely, totally insane. If he thinks that the Palestinian people are going to accept this, and which they're not, they've already said they're not, and how crazy an idea it is. I mean, this will cause a regional war in the Middle East. Mark my words. It will totally, it will topple governments. It will cause total instability throughout the region and throughout Europe as well. And yeah, there'll be unforeseen consequences to this that nobody will have predicted if he goes through with this particular piece of policy of ethnically cleansing the free Palestinian people from their land. So we can just safely say that the order that was set up after the Second World War is completely gone now. This whole narrative of America, the light on the hill, leading democracy, the world's leading democracy, and purveyor of noble Western ideals, that's gone. That mask has totally slipped off and has fallen to the ground and shattered into a million pieces. Now, America is effectively a fascist state. You've got unelected Elon Musk, your new oligarch overlord, who's running around just bypassing Congress. So their laws mean nothing. And that's another thing. I mean, there was a whole this sort of total disregard for the rule of law has sort of thrown another aspect into its foreign policy. I mean, how can countries think, oh, well, he's going to sign this deal and, yeah, everything should be good, right? It'll be set and forget. No, no one can trust the Trump administration, and therefore now any future government administration, any US government administration, if there is going to be any future US government, it might be just the Trump reign from now on. Who knows? It's already talking about doing another third term. As I think in the Constitution it does say, doesn't limit terms, that's just a convention. Or it does limit terms, it just says no more than 3 terms. So you bet he's going to take advantage of that line in the Constitution and go, oh, it says I can do 3 terms, so there you go, I'll do another term because we've still got a lot of problems. And people will massively go for it. But yeah, I digress. Yeah, it just shows that, well, they had a plan in Gaza, and what happened to that? Now it's like you got to release everyone immediately. So what I'm saying is there's this track record of Trump not fulfilling any of his promises in his, sort of foreign policy statements. So what does that mean? It means that you just can't trust him, and you can't trust the US. So you can't make deals, you can't sign treaties, you know, because tomorrow he'll change his mind and decide, oh, well, that what we signed is, yeah, that doesn't mean anything now. I've changed my mind because I'm US empire. That's how this works. When you stop thinking like, oh, there's, international law. No, the US government is not thinking like that. They're thinking, we are the empire and you'll do what we say. We run the show. They're saying the quiet part out loud. Or they're just not pretending anymore and getting you to other countries to comply and follow with the international law, where you get convinced that you made the decision. Now, Uncle Sam is just saying, you're going to do what we say, and you kind of you're going to bloody well like it. So that's what's happening. If you haven't woken up to that fact, if you want to live in this delusional fairyland where there are still rules apart from might is right, okay, good luck with that. When everything you find, when you'll find that all these decisions that you see, well, why did that happen? That's because you're still thinking in this antiquated, delusional 20th century way that it's all some sort of rule of law thing. That's gone. I mean, Trump's sanctioning the members of the International Criminal Court. So, yeah, that's it's mask off time now. You've got to stop pretending now. It's time to actually call a spade and wake up to the facts. But yeah, here's this Times Radio piece. Here, a little interview with a talking head. I've forgotten his name. But yeah, I mean, this is I'm playing you this to show you what the traditional sort of Western media, the mouthpiece of, these Western governments, and what they're thinking. So let's see, just bear with me. There we go.
Especially Saudi Arabia. That's gone. That's absolutely gone. I mean, the Saudis are not going to normalize relations with Israel unless there's a Gaza ceasefire and at least a statement in principle of going for a two-state solution. The UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, they're not going to normalize with Israel. Jordan's caught in the middle of this. Now, Jordan's not going to walk away from its peace treaty with Israel, but there is going to be trouble not only in Gaza, there's trouble in the West Bank, which of course borders Jordan. We've had several hundred Palestinians killed in the West Bank in the past 16 months. And right now, Israel's in the middle of a deadly operation.
I'd say is much more, because there was that thing with Trump where he sort of let slip of the number of Palestinians that are currently there. And so it's around 400,000, 500,000, it'd be more. And that's a conservative estimate. I'd say at least 500,000 Palestinians, Gazans, have been killed by Israeli security forces.
In Jenin, in there. Jordan faces the prospect of internal instability because people are going to get upset with this. So
Yeah, because there's something like 2 million Palestinians in Jordan right now. And understand, Jordan was set up by the British colonials. So, and now uh, they are they are a vassal state of US empire. So, because um, the US inherited the kids in the divorce, so they got custody of the kids, I should say. So all these countries in the Middle East um, that you know UAE, Dubai, which is the capital of the UAE, I believe, Qatar, Qatar, as they say. Um, yeah, Jordan, Egypt, they're all results of, you know, the colonial system where it laid out its sort of hegemony or hegemony of since the Second World War. You got to understand, after the Second World War, former colonies of Great Britain and other European powers from the 19th century basically revolted against that, and because they were like, okay, we're part of this empire thing because we get protection from the empire. And then everyone saw with the fall of Singapore that wasn't the deal. And they saw the inherent racism. So like, these colonized people thought they were British. But the British said, oh, sorry, no, only white people are British. Sorry. And so that's why, that was that. Um, they weren't going back to being a colony of Great Britain. So they became countries, independent countries in their own right. And um, and it's the same with the Middle Eastern countries. I mean, Britain did their Lawrence of Arabia shit, and the countries, to get rid of the Ottoman Empire, sort of used, the British Empire to further to be able to exist, basically. And now that's all over. That's all about to come tumbling down if Trump does this. It's such a massive thing, and people just aren't really talking about it.
What Trump has done is, in his way, is he's destabilized not only Gaza, he has destabilized the region, but not in the ways we tend to think of it. Will there be war? He's destabilized it in that you're going to have internal conflict within these countries, and you're going to have Arab states that are going to separate themselves from Israel.
It's an interesting point because it's often seen that, the power in Jordan is the fact that they...
The thing is, Jordan is propped up by the US. Israel is the settler colonial state of the US. All these countries are their proxy states of the US. So, yeah, well, what are people supposed to do, I suppose? And it's all up in the air now. There's no alliances anymore because people are going to have to look after themselves with the US. And I think this is where BRICS comes in. Yeah, because they've cut off the aid. Trump has cut off the aid to Jordan. I mean, that's what this guy isn't talking about. They've cut all their aid. So, yeah, there's no soft power to entice them. There's no carrot to entice them. There's just now the stick. That's what's going on. The US is just using the stick. It's gotten rid of the carrot now. Saying, we're the empire, you got to do what we say. So, and a country, don't think that the countries think, that governments think like ordinary people. No, they think about how they're going to survive. That's the only point, is how to survive and grow. And normally it's through economic warfare, through trade. And, usually it was supposed to be rarely you'd come to actual open warfare. That's, the last argument of kings, as they say. So that's all gone now. Trump's destroyed all of that.
They have that peace and that stability within the region, and potentially, Trump threatening to destabilize that. That's a negotiating tactic there from Trump. And obviously we will.
It's not a negotiating. These idiots keep trying to say, the implication is that, he knows what he's doing, and he's so smart that he's thinking 10 moves ahead of us. No, he's not. He's Donald fucking Trump. He's cunning, but he's not a genius. There's a difference. These talking heads, we all know now, they're just propagandists for the elites. So they'll never criticize Trump.
Find out a bit more about that when they do speak later. Moving on to tariffs. So Trump, he's threatened a 25% import tax on all steel and aluminium entering the US to start in March. He implemented similar tariffs last time that he was in office.
Well, yeah, there you go. That's all I just wanted to talk about, is with the Gaza thing, and how it's all destabilized now. So I don't know what they're going to do, how it's going to play out. But I think there is, if it does happen, the US goes in there, boots on the ground, a regional war will erupt. And basically countries will topple because, their populations all support the Palestinians. Everyone in the Middle East can see what the West is doing there, and that it's all just a big land grab. One thing about Trump is he's not pretending. He is saying it. We will take it. He said it will be ours. And they asked him, are the Palestinians going to be able to go back? What kind of people? And he said, we will have world people there. World people. The fuck does that mean? It means, no, Palestinians don't go back. Palestinians are permanently ethnically cleansed from that area, from Gaza, and it's going to be a nice resort for rich white people. So that's the state of affairs we're in. If you've made it this far, thank you, and consider hitting like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.